I wandered lonely as a dude with three women, walking in Windermere without Wordsworth, with three lasses, by Walter Bound, first published in The Masterpiece. For almost 3 decades, I have been traveling with three women, my wife, Mary Jane, and my daughters, Madeline and Nancy. Believe me, traveling with Walter Bound is unsettling. A TGV slicing the countryside at 574.8 kilometers an hour. While awaiting the first meal, I'm usually pondering the next, like when's second breakfast and elevensies. But not when traveling. Just too much to do. I'll stuff a scone in my trousers for later. Time and throw and therapy. A lot of therapy has helped. By constantly moving, what was I missing? Well, almost everything. Let's flip 4 years back, before the name Mary Jane. Of course, the lass that I would marry, red hair with the surname Murphy, would have deep roots in Ireland. The land of Yeats, Joyce, Beckett, and Guinness. Those three syllables, like a trinity, Mary Jane, have since been wholly on my lips. It's strange looking back, all these years later. I'm relaxing and speaking in the loft, looking out the A-frame windows to the rain in the woods. Soon, when the rain stops, I'll be kayaking on Roaming Wood Lake. For 3 days, I've been in the mountains, alone, moving at the speed of Thoreau. 34 years have elapsed since those mostly merry days in England. I'm singing the words of David Byrne from the Talking Heads. Then you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Well, in 1990, I found myself traveling with three women from university. We were all Yanks. An extended weekend during mid-semester seemed perfect for the mountains. Many stories have been published about my undergraduate drama in Europe. Does an audience exist for such a collection? Who knows? Writing as an art, if done artfully, I guess, is anything you can get away with, and package and sell and razzle-dazzle. The secret, as writers know, is to connect the personal to the universal, allowing readers to catch the sun or the moon between the clouds, life and love and self that has been hazy or blocked. Truth is easier to comprehend from the back of a theater, or to maintain the metaphor, life viewed from above, but not as far as Mars. That seems the distance from the Walter Bound of 1990 to the Walter Bound of 2023. In Newcastle, the northeast corner of England, I should have been spending more time with these girls, women, than many others, but my Gatsby syndrome had confined me to pursue a gilded, golden girl. Do I really want to exhaust more fumes on her? Let's just say there was a divide. Not a Hadrian's Wall, but Route 195 divided North from South Jersey. I was a Southerner. Plus, my best friend in England, Alex, a fellow Yank, was now dating her. And I didn't see much of them. But not dying in a pool awakened me to new people, friendships, even to British classmates like Stephen from Chester, who had been reticent to hang out. Is that a Brit thing, such reserve? I was the dude who loved to travel. They would hear of my exploits through Europe, my crazy adventures in the States and Canada, road trips, hiking trips, just no drug trips. The way I conjured experiences made people excited about hitting the road, or catching the next bus or train, and then, maybe, hitting me. Such rosy romanticism even persuaded that golden girl to ask me to travel, while we were sitting in a college hallway back in New Jersey. One day, we visited Durham Cathedral for the Vienna Boys concert. Two girls from Jersey, Kimberly and Susan, and my good friend, Texas Tom, from Dallas, and he was working at a co-op and living in the dorms. Kimberly mentioned hearing me talk about the Lake District. I vaguely remember her being literary, too, and she may have been a much better match if I had a better brain than for women and love. Of course, being a pretentious literary dude, a writer who wanted nothing less than to be buried in Poets' Corner, and an English major, I wanted to visit Lake Windermere, walking in the wake of Wordsworth and Coleridge. Hey, I'd love to take you guys, I said. I could arrange everything. This would also include the girl from San Jose, California. The love terrain was looking pretty fertile. Texas Tom couldn't make it. That was okay. Would I be fine escorting 3 women for the weekend? Now here's the thing. The one girl, the blonde, Susan, everyone really liked her. But she was engaged in a serious relationship back home, and she was also a practicing Christian. We all respected that, her. And my friend Texas Tom really liked her. I was clueless that Kimberly liked me. Or so I think. Did I not hear her laugh at my jokes? Was I too concerned, too myopic with the golden girl, who didn't happen to find my juvenilia and crudités, crude appetizers, funny? As far as that golden girl, we disagreed on everything. Politics, religion, music, what looked like a castle, what did not, how to eat pizza, dry reds versus sweet reds, how much time was required in the bathroom, and whether or not I was a genius. What did I see in her, this Laura? Kimberly knew her from high school. Laura was mean, and Kimberly didn't want anything to do with her. At our frequent trips to the Royal Archer, she told me this. I felt this, but other things blocked reason and intuition. So I hung out with Kimberly, talking, laughing, playing games, and I'm like, whoa, this girl is really cool. Would something happen in Windermere? Then again, there was this girl from San Jose. She was really cute, great smile, a charming face with no need for makeup, and so different from the Springsteen-esque big-haired Jersey girls. She wielded a West Coast attitude and hipness with a tank full of snark and sarcasm, and maybe some shark. Was I intrigued and terrified? She was sharp. I just didn't realize how sharp. Well, it seemed San Jose liked me. It was a typical night at the Archer with the American crew and the Notre Collection d'Internationale. Simon Snow was our bartender and a BBC animator, and a very good mate. It was a fun time, kicking back pints of Dookie Brown. San Jose sat on my lap and we started kissing. Man, that was nice. It doesn't go much from there, but Windermere, she wants to go too. Nice. Would that be 2 double rooms or 1 triple and a single? Whoa, so no more romantic Death Valley? I've never had a girlfriend, and Laura never counted. I was just her butler. Seriously, I was clueless. I was that untutored youth Shakespeare penned in his dark lady sonnets. So I made plans, long before the internet, researched, called, consulted maps, booked rooms, train tickets, to be the tour guide to the gorgeous Lake District with 3 gorgeous women. Oh man. But was a control freak. One with the itinerary, the train schedule, the museum maps. I shared the plans for the weekend, which included visiting Dove Cottage, rowing on Lake Windermere, many fine meals, scones, high tea, low tea, middle tea, 11sies, nice pubs. As far as sexy time, would it be with that really sweet girl from my home state or the snarky girl with the glasses from San Jose? Or would I just write in my journal, yet again, of the woman I really wanted, who would mysteriously materialize a few years later as the Mary Jane? The train was great. Gorgeous scenery from Newcastle to Windermere. We changed trains in Chester. It would be a town I would later visit on my honeymoon in 1995. Now I'm thinking, looking at these old photos, what do they look like? What are they doing now? Are they alive? Happy? In therapy too for megalomania and a messiah complex? I sure as hell know they're not thinking about me or writing an essay about this crazy dude who took them to the Lake District. And I almost died on that weekend. Literally, but I'll get to that. The weekend was not rushed at all. It was nice, and I didn't even care too much about not getting to Dove Cottage in Grasmere, the home of William Wordsworth. We went shopping, strolled cobblestone streets, hired a boat, went to pubs, and rode on Windermere with pleasant breezes and swaying swans. We laughed, cracked jokes, talked about our classes. Was I still getting sexy vibes from San Jose? Yes, and no. With me, my compass is impossible. North is south. But I also felt friendly vibes from New Jersey, even though she was from North Jersey and the Mets and Taylor Ham. I talked about my writing. Did I have copies for them to edit? This one won an award for short fiction. But that didn't happen, I think. We rented bikes after a nice hike, hilly, of course. The Lake District is quite hilly, mountainous, and it just rained. You can add that sentence in every story about England. I took one hill, with twists and turns, much like Lombard Street in San Fran, way too fast. The pavement was slick and dangerous, with only 16th century stone fences as guardrails, saving me, perhaps, from a 1,000-foot drop. I felt out of control, was flying, hydroplaning, thinking I was going to die a poor virgin. I squeezed the brakes. The brakes squawked, squeaked. Did I smell brake pads burning? Miraculously, I didn't fall, or die from a cliff dive, and I eventually came to a halt. That or a letterbox stopped me without serious injury. The girls arrived in 10 minutes, hoping to find me alive. Sometimes I do feel like Ozzy, going off the rails on a crazy train. I just don't think rationally. I'm so glad now I'm on medication for my ADD and in therapy with Ray. Ray, you've been great, man. You know what's weird, too? These women trusted me. Trust me, I know a ton of jerks. Toxic male jerks. But they were always safe with me, as long as they didn't try keeping up with me biking. Mary Jane wrote that in her vows, that I gave her the deepest laughs and the safety she always needed in a relationship. Oh, that's nice. San Jose said I was a very good kisser. Did I want to take it any further? Well, maybe. But why fall for someone who was just as far away in San Jose than in England? I don't know. Why would it have to be about love? Well, you see, I give away my heart way too fast. Unfortunately fast. Against all logic. Was I able to hit the brakes before making a very bad mistake with a relationship and marriage? So we enjoyed a pub lunch, a pub dinner, and that always included a pint of something brown or black. In England, I swore off lagers, toasting only with stouts, porters, browns, and hearty, yeasty ales. Is this the climax coming? The story, people. I'm in the room with San Jose. Things are progressing. I mean, the kissing and all, and the hands are behaving, light touches, here, there, just not everywhere, feather-like. I guess my jokes were funny, but why talk at all? I don't know. Seriously, I was hoping she would, help this untutored youth, but she stopped. And she stood up, put on her big glasses, and said, I can't have sex with you because you remind me of someone who tried to sexually assault me. Jesus, I thought. Number one, I don't want to look like someone who sexually assaults women. That's just not me. I hate toxic males. Number two, I felt horrible for her with this sexual assault attempt. How awful. And number three, oh boy, there goes my chance not to be a virgin anymore. But I must say, I was rather relieved. In the end, I had a good time showing 3 women the world, or a part of it, the way I would do in the future with my family. Now my girls are exploring the world, the States, Canada, Europe, on their own, and daughter Nancy is even fluent in Spanish, and worked as an au pair in Barcelona, and studied in Madrid. And in another 2 years, Mary Jane and I hope, we're going to celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary, and hopefully it's going to be in Ireland, and maybe even emigrate to that Emerald Isle if the States keep turning into A Handmaid's Tale, 1984, and A Clockwork Orange. That experience developed the human I am today. And you know what? I wouldn't change anything. Really. Every event led me to that dance where I met the Mary Jane. I'm thinking of her now, my wife, looking out from our vacation home. Now for me, more like a permanent home. The trees, the wrens through the window, the pine trees I've planted, the Alberta spruces, waiting for my daughters and boyfriends to arrive for the 4th of July. I'm fortunate. I'm blessed. Some days I get so pissed off about teaching and the tangled state of education and how I'm not Ernest Hemingway yet, but who wants to be? Honestly, wasn't he rather toxic? He said he saved the best of himself for his writing. Now, that's selfish. I give the best of myself to my family, my wife, friends, and the birds. There's such insight about growing up. You see, education should be very difficult, but you gotta be open and ready, or you're not going to grow. Those 3 girls, then 20, are now 54. Wow, where did the time go? And all that great music from the shoegazer era. Waterbound is thinking of you, and feel free to write about me from the way back, when we were just students in the north of England, finding our way. Thank you for listening and reading, and just paddle your way toward happiness. Take care, everyone. Cheers.